It's been a historic day and a very eventful one for Marcus Ambrose. This was early in the race as our first ever rain event in NASCAR history. He takes the lead, but then slides off and still manages to stay out front. But then the trouble. He goes too fast into pit lane, has to serve a pass-through penalty. But believe it or not, despite all this, with the heavy downpour and all the other problems everybody else is having, Marcus is in third, albeit 49 seconds behind the leader. And oh my, this is the one thing Ron Fellows doesn't want to hear. Full course caution has come out because of heavy rain. The drivers simply cannot see right now. Fellows loses a 43-second lead.
That's amazing. And when you know Ambrose is sitting there just licking his chops, he's like, okay, I want to race this guy. Let's go.
So our fourth caution of the day for the heavy rain, and Fellows would have probably had to stop again, but if he could have maintained that 45-second lead, he probably could have gotten in and out.
Well, he was maintained it. Marty, he was going to have to stop around lap 59 anyway to get fuel. He was no way in the world he's going to make it to the very end, but if they do call this race right now, hey, he's looking in pretty good shape right now. The drivers are telling us across the radios that it's just so hard to see. They have no visibility whatsoever. And as it's getting darker, the color looking out the windshield in the darkness is starting to blend together, and the vision is just going away at the moment.
And you can see how hard it is raining. We're getting some areas of standing water. Take a look at Ron Fellows. As you can see, his day is started 6th, was as low as 26th, and that was after he made his pit stop, which put him into this position. Now, if this race ends, he picks up his 4th career win.
But it's not Watkins Glen.
Well, and all his other 3 wins have come at the Glen. In fact, since you mentioned Watkins Glen, Mr. Lajoie, let's take you back and show you the 3 wins that Ron obtained. June of 1999 in the 87 Bell South car. That was numero uno. Then, with the Bully Hill sponsorship in 2000, familiar sight, Fellows seeing the checker flag first, and then 1 year later, let's make it the hat trick, as they like to say in Canadian hockey. You can hear him screaming.
I think that was Joe Nemechek's car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't Joe the owner of that team?
Yep. Great
job for Joe Nemechek. They put a good car underneath of him.
Well, they had a good driver, too. Take a look at his all-time standings in the road courses. 12 races. It ties him for first with a guy by the name, I think, weren't you? Oh, no, well, you were 10 races, Randy.
Correct.
Yep. 12 would be with...
Look at him doing his windows.
Yeah, he's doing the windows.
Yeah, I wonder if he does laundry.
Yeah. He'll time with Jason Keller. That's who he ties him with the 12 starts.
Pretty interesting, guys, to see if they can actually finish this race. It's, like we said, it's getting really dark, and look at all that standing water right now.
That is the turn 1-2 complex, and boy, that's why another reason you don't want to hit the apex of the corner in the rain, because it is extremely slick, and especially you'll hydroplane with that much water.
I tell you another thing I'm amazed about. I'm really amazed at these ignition systems, and these cars are holding on. I mean, a lot of water getting under distributors, underneath the engines, and inside the boxes that are on the dashboard of these cars. Everything's just got to be soaking wet.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the fans respond to this race, because I got to be honest, these guys have done a much better job than I ever anticipated. Rusty?
Look at all this stuff right down here. This is the ignition system on Mike Wallace's car. It's the same on everybody else's car. You can see the water, just around this area right here starting to come through. Just a little bit, not a lot. But the bigger problem would be on the spark plug wires, on a distributor, an alternator, Randy, all that type of stuff under the hood.
It's also something that we haven't thought about. These air cleaners go straight into the carburetor. These air cleaners got to be getting wet, because these things right at the windshield base is where the air intake is. So there's got to be some water in there.
Well, pit road is closed, so we'll continue under this caution. It is our 4th of the day, and your race leader is Ron Fellows. Patrick Carpentier is 2nd. Marcus Ambrose is 3rd. How is this going to unfold at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve? Stay with us to find out. Well, hopefully there'll be no rain tomorrow in Pocono, because our race presented by Cheez-It starts at 1 p.m. with Countdown on ESPN. Give you an idea where our double-duty drivers are going to be starting tomorrow. Greg Biffle will go off 9th, Carl Edwards 15th, David Reagan 16th, David Ruderman 28th, Clint Boyer 30th. That'll be tomorrow on ESPN at Pocono. All right, well, so far we've seen a lot of extra duty by our drivers. There's Carl Edwards earlier as he's trying to clean the outside. And then on the inside, this is what the squeegee really meant to do.
You know what? That's one of the hardest things that we've seen back in Suzuka was the inside of his windshields just get totally fogged up. You can see his hose blowing on the corner of the windshield.
All right, let's check in with the crew chiefs. Vince?
With Dave Rogers of the 20 car. 9 times this season the 20 has been to victory lane. Now, it might not become a 10th today, but Joey Logano's doing a heck of a job. First time on a road course, much less the rain. He's running 4th. How much have you had to kind of coach him around today?
Man, I don't know how much I have to coach him. I'm talking a lot. You know, we got such great employees at Joe Gibbs Racing. I got employees at Joe Gibbs Racing watching TV, texting me during the race, giving me hints, you know, people that have road raced before, and I keep passing on to Joey, and he's doing a fantastic job. I'm so proud of that kid. He's, you know, he's not making mistakes. He's keeping on course, and he's running top 5 right now. I can't ask for any more.
Real quickly, what kind of road conditions has he passed along?
You know, at first we're real excited about this, and this is cool. This is history. This is a lot of fun. But right now, Joey thinks it's a little bit too wet, too unsafe. We're hydroplaning under caution. I'm starting to hear a lot of drivers talk about, maybe enough is enough right now before we get someone hurt. So I would like to see it end right now, or at least slow down and let them clear this track up a little bit, make it safer for the drivers.
Joey Logano, the 20 car, 18 years old. He's running 4th. Mike?
And Vince, Ron Fellows has 3 career Nationwide Series victories, and he's the guy in the catbird seat right now. But catching up with his crew chief, Cam Strader, how much longer can you keep him out there before you have to pull him down pit road?
We still have quite a bit of fuel left in the car right now. The GoDaddy.com Chevrolet's running great, and our pit strategies hopefully will pay off for us. I tell you, it's just way too dangerous for him to race out there right now, and hopefully NASCAR will call this thing off. So we're I say I love working with Ron. He has such great experience that he's really taught me a lot. This being my second race, crew chief, and so it's just kind of an awesome deal being out here leading the race and with the great chance of winning this thing.
Well, you can understand, Marty, why they may be lobbying to end this race. Their original pit window called for them to be on pit road in about 5 laps from now.
And like every crew chief, oh no! Jacques Villeneuve with damage under the caution. I mean, this nose got punched in like it was at the Friday night fights that were here in town last night.
He just slid up underneath somebody. That's what happened. He didn't see somebody, and I thought that was a problem when he come on pit road. He couldn't see. So now he just run over somebody.
Wow. Well, we'll follow up on that story because that is definitely changing the complexion. Paulie McCauley, one of our crew, and we want to salute them all because it has been a very long and wet day for everybody down there. Thanks, guys. You've done great work.